अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
क्या हाल चाल? उम्मीद करते हैं कि आप खैरियत से होकर मन दुआ है कि आप हमेशा खुश रहें, हंसते और मुस्कुराते रहें और इसी तरह में अपना प्यार दिखाते रहें।
बिल्कुल जी, मेरा नाम मुअज़्ज़म अली।
मैं हूं तारिक महमूद।
मैं मोहम्मद मैं मोहम्मद अदनान।
तो आज हम जिस वीडियो पर रिएक्ट करने जा रहे हैं, वीडियो का टाइटल है टीम इंडिया मुंबई इंडिया T20 वर्ल्ड कप ट्रॉफी सेलिब्रेशन विक्ट्री परेड।
तो देखते हैं जी वीडियो। विक्ट्री परेड हो रही है भाई साहब। ओपन बस पे टीम इंडिया का स्वागत किया जा रहा है और सारा मुंबई भाई साहब बाहर निकला हुआ है। तो देखते हैं जी वीडियो और अपना रिव्यू कर देंगे। कौन करते हैं 3 2 1 वीडियो स्टार्ट।
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching NDTV. The wait is finally over. The Indian team has arrived in Mumbai, and this is the victory lap. This is the victory march of the champions. Mumbai today reflects the spirit of the nation in coming together to thank the champions who brought home the trophy, the T20 World Cup. This is, of course, this wasn't an easy job, and this is a team that has gone through a lot. And of course, this is the T20 World Cup after 17 years. I'm joined by my colleague Rika and also senior journalist Mr. Pula Rao. Over to you, Mr. Pula Rao. You see the visuals here, sir. This shows the madness, the joy, the celebration that Indian cricket in some ways signifies for all of us. Tell us, how do you see this? Why is this so important to us?
It's very important. We had a long election, there were a lot of divisions, there was a lot of contests, and here is the sport uniting everybody without any controversy, without any class, without any division across the country. Of course, cricket is a very great sport in India with a long history. We have a great attachment to it, but it is a unifying force. You can see upsurge everywhere. In rural areas and cities, see the massive crowd which came to Bombay today. You're not only from the city, they have come from outside. Therefore, I would say this is one of the positive aspects of cricket and of sport, especially in India, where it's such a big spectator game. Therefore, we should all welcome this, and it will soothe tempers, it will bring us together, and coming Olympics also, this will add to that spirit and competition which India will face.
Right.
Let's go over to Radhika, who's there at the Wankhede Stadium, because I believe that the bus is nearing the Wankhede Stadium. That's the ultimate destination. The cricketers are going to go in, and that's where they are going to be felicitated by the BCCI. So, Radhika, tell us how far have they reached, and how much longer do we see it'll take for the felicitation function to start?
Of the bus that's nearing Wankhede Stadium. I hope we don't have trouble with the network issue, but I'm standing as far as possible so that we don't have problem with the network, and at the same time we can give you those visuals of that bus, of that parade entering Wankhede Stadium. Wankhede Stadium is where I'm standing right outside, and you can see sea of fans. The entire place is flooded with fans. In fact, they've just crossed Marine Drive and taken a right from Marine Drive into gate number 2 of Wankhede, and this is where the end point of this entire parade is. People are obviously running to catch a glimpse of the players here. That's the excitement, that's the enthusiasm you're seeing. So the bus almost at Wankhede, after which now there will be felicitation ceremony. And I'm not sure whether you can hear the noise. People are just celebrating here, of course, cheering for Team India. Tons and tons of fans from across the country, not just from Mumbai, Maharashtra, but from across the country have gathered here. Hopefully we won't, lose next. That's the champion.
Radhika has been struggling with the network.
The champion bus, the open bus. You can see all the players from our camera, including Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, and all of the Indian team players who've just won T20 World Cup.
Radhika, give me a moment to describe these visuals.
Radhika,
give me a moment to describe the visuals. On your screen, you can see Ravindra Jadeja, Kuldeep Nair, Kuldeep Yadav, in fact, not Nair, Kuldeep Yadav, and support staff of the Indian cricket team's bowling coach, along with Rajiv Shukla. We didn't see Ravindra Jadeja so far celebrating. That's of course Rahul Dravid with his team of the support staff, Jasprit Bumrah. They have also played a very important role. That's the local boy Shivam Dubey with the trophy, displaying it to the fans. Of course, Rohit Sharma right behind, sitting there on the bus. It is a bus that has been specially branded for the Indian cricket team. It is the champions caravan, as one would say. It says champions in 2007 and then champions in 2024. Spectacular scenes on the streets of Mumbai. So many
it's all
people
covered in the hues of blue. Also, Vika, just a short while ago, there was this beautiful thing where Rohit Sharma and I think Rahul Dravid were celebrating. Tell us about the importance of, two people, because clearly they've made announcements. At least Rahul Dravid has made some very important announcements. So
Rahul Dravid there on your screen, as you say. So they are reaching the Wankhede Stadium. They've reached Churchgate. They are reaching the Wankhede Stadium there. The bus is almost entering there. It's the end of the victory parade. And yes, to answer your question, Vasudha, it is pretty significant for these two men. It's a special gate I can also see has been made for the cricketer. No, this is the original gate of the Wankhede Stadium. I'm sorry about that, because of the light reflection, I thought it was a special gate made. But no, it is the... So they have gone inside the Wankhede Stadium right now, and you can see a sea of blue. To answer your question, it is a significant moment for these two men working together. And, Rahul Dravid said in his parting speech, it was because of that one phone call from Rohit Sharma that he decided to continue as the Indian coach. His term had come to an end with the 2023 Cricket World Cup in India, and Rahul Dravid was to walk away from cricket, from sport, without having won a trophy, without having won a World Cup trophy. And, it was almost providential that Rohit Sharma called him, and he decided to stay on for another 9 or 10 months, and that really led to a stronger bond. He said that there are times then that we have argued, we have not seen eye to eye on many things, we have had differences, but we have got results together, and that's what matters in the end of the day. Rohit Sharma leading the team on the field, and Rahul Dravid leading it from the background. So they together have combined to make India the force that it is today.
Well, Rika, this is a game that's played in every neighborhood, and the human aspect of cricket is so, it is something we're all so familiar with. Let's go across to our colleague Anuj, who joins us. He's been covering this victory march for us. Anuj, tell us, what is the sentiment on ground? Because I can see men, women, and also children, and this is how, this is a sport that grows on all of us, since we are really, since we're children. So tell us, how are people reacting to this? There is a sense of gratitude, there's a sense of joy, and more than that, there's a sense of relief, and of course there is a lot of celebration. Tell us what's happening on ground.
You very rightly said that there's a sense of relief, and I think that kind of overtakes the sense of happiness or the awe of the World Cup, and that's for several reasons. Of course, India won a World Cup after a long hiatus in 2007, and that was after 24 years, and one might consider that to be a greater weight than the current 11 years won. But then, there's a lot of difference in that. When you see the last time India won an ICC trophy was in 2013, and since then till now, cricket has grown across the globe, and India has been at the fulcrum, has been at the center of this entire growth. And yet questions were being asked to the BCCI. How can you, after having the best players across the formats, after having the most amount of money, cannot get even a single ICC trophy? Which is why the reaction of not just this entire city, but of course the entire country, but from what I saw in Mumbai and reported on, it was extremely emotional, and it was completely filled with relief and joy. When the moment the final ball was bowled, the way Rohit Sharma went down on the ground and he was down in happiness and he refused to get up, that was pretty much everyone here, all the cricket fans here in Mumbai. And Mumbai has had a very sweet and a very interesting relationship with the ICC trophies. The last time India won a major ICC tournament was, of course, here at Wankhede, when on 2nd of April, India lifted the glorious ICC ODI World Cup in 2011. And after that, the World Cup comes back to this city of dreams, after 13 years, and it's at the same ground where we are celebrating. This World Cup victory also marks the, life as a full circle for several cricketers. Most importantly, the three top names which come to people's mind, which are close to everyone here in the city of Mumbai. And of course, Rohit Sharma, their captain, the hitman, someone who's been closely, related to the city, of course, because of his familial roots and because of what he has done for the Mumbai Indians franchisee as well. It was sort of a redemption for him for what had happened on the 19th of November, and it was on him to give it back to the people who had not become angry on him after the loss, but had showered a lot of love. So he took it on himself to carry on. Not just did he ask Rahul Dravid to coach the Indian side, but of course he continued to captain the team after a lot was being said about him. He was removed from being the captain of the team in the IPL, and of course people had written him off, not just as a captain but also as a player. But he came back. He not just won the World Cup for India as a captain, but it is also important to note that he was the highest scoring batter for India, with most number of sixes, fours and 50s for India in the shortest format of the game. Besides him, there is of course Virat Kohli and Rahul Dravid, two of the most genuine people that this particular sport have ever seen.
Do stay on with us. We'll also have to go over to our cricket expert Rakesh Rao at this hour. Rakesh, you have covered Indian cricket for a very long time. Rahul Dravid, talking about him, this is perhaps the most emotional Dravid that we are seeing. The highest point of emotion that I have seen with Rahul Dravid is during one of the IPL matches when his team, at that time he was coaching Rajasthan Royals, could not win a match. He threw his cap. I haven't seen a more emotional Rahul Dravid than this period, having won the World Cup, the tears of joy, and now with Rohit Sharma. I think something has been brought out from within, isn't it?
Absolutely. See, Rahul is the sort of person who will normally, he has his own operating principles. He's not going to divulge too much about himself, his family, or whatever. He just keeps things to himself. He's not very active on the social media, so you don't get to know a lot of his reactions or his responses. Now, for him, and also you must have seen that in the last few hours also, he has stayed in the background. Yeah. How many times since morning did you see him with the trophy? You show me one visual where he is holding that trophy. He's not. He stayed away consciously, even when he was atop that bus. He was not in the forefront. So that is Rahul for you. Now for Rahul to speak the way he spoke that day, I think that speaks volume about the man himself, because he just chose his moment and he just spoke his mind. And more than his mind, it was coming straight from his heart. He just said it is not about an individual, it's about all of us. And that is what he felt. And probably that particular fact that he never had a World Cup winning medal with him, now to have something around his neck, that also made him move a little more. But he was emotional, to say the least. And you don't see Rahul getting emotional. He'll show his grit, he'll show his determination. Right. But to show his emotions, that was for a change. And that also he chose his moment, precisely that. When the team had finished the job, he knew that his job has ended as a coach, and he had to say something. But what he spoke, I think that was worth its weight in gold. And the way he emphasized on certain things, that you will forget the numbers, you'll forget the stats, but you'll remember these moments. So it was like telling the boys, look, this is what you'll be left with at the end of the day. Today you are active players, tomorrow you will not be active players. So it was, I think, more about, he was reflecting on his own life and sharing the pearls from there.
That's so beautifully said.
It means that means a lot. Right. To those, I think, people who can get value out of what he said. I don't know how many of them would actually be able to get that value, But if they've just, heard him, that's not enough. They
Right.
should have listened to him.
Pulla Rao, like Mr. Rao is also saying, and like my colleague Rika pointed out, these are emotive, expressive champions. At the same time, we see Indians also being very thankful. What does this really signify? And all of this happening in the city of Mumbai, which has also gone through a lot. I mean, I speak to you about politics all the time. So politics, and this is a sport that has unified us for years. Tell us, how do you see Mumbai erupting in joy like this?
Oh, it is a great thing. Mumbai is, the capital of cricket, so to say, for ever since we started playing this game. And they have turned out this way. They have appreciated it. It is as, one small thing I would like to add. Most of the players and other supporting people are from small and intermediate towns. This is no longer a metro sport. And so therefore, though this is taking place in Mumbai, there's nationwide participation, because most of the players, or many of the players, are from small towns. And they grew up there, and now they are participating here in this great event. It's one of the rare events where, this massive crowd is unprecedented in recent times or any time. And therefore, Mumbai, for example, there is unity there, as we first said. This has been a unifying force, and it establishes Mumbai again as, the capital of Indian cricket. And it's an inspiration all around.
Right.
Anyone with ambition, they feel they can make it here.
Right. Rika, this is Team India's victory lap in Mumbai, and of course, fans, as expected.
We'll have to tell you some of the, pictures that we have seen during the course of this victory lap. Of course, fans climbing on trees to catch a glimpse of their heroes. Then Virat Kohli and Jasprit Bumrah dancing to the drum beats. We had, of course, seen Rohit Sharma in the morning breaking a leg to Bhangra, but here Virat Kohli and Jasprit Bumrah was dancing to drum beats. There were many fans along the way climbing on the trees to catch a glimpse of their heroes. Rohit Sharma and Rahul Dravid in a warm embrace. Rahul Dravid letting his emotions flow. He's never been the kind of emotional man as he has displayed in the last a week or so after winning the World Cup, and then here during the victory parade. He has always taken a back seat so far as cricket is concerned. Coaching is concerned, he has always let the boys shine, the spotlight be on the boys, but perhaps it is all too human to be emotional at this point. And these are pretty special pictures of Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma together and the boys together, lifting up the World Cup, displaying it to their fans, and showering gratitude towards them, towards the fans as well, who have been with them through thick and thin. We can tell you at this hour that the players have gone into the Wankhede Stadium for the celebrations, for the felicitation function inside the stadium. But those pictures we will get to you a little later. However, these pictures that we are getting to you at the moment, Vasudha and I, they are of the victory parade that happened in Mumbai, the 1 kilometer victory parade along the Queen's Necklace, an affair to remember for the Indian cricket team, for the hundreds and thousands of fans who had queued up along the Marine Drive after the victorious Indian cricket team came back home with that silverware.
Rika, in the context of today's victory lap, India's 2007 victory march is something that people are sort of in many ways recalling. Do you remember anything about that? Because clearly there is a precedent that Mumbai has set for itself, and it is looking at breaking its own records here.
Yes, Mumbai indeed is breaking its own records because we had seen a similar spectacle in 2007, but this looks to me today much bigger than that. Of course, that was a different generation back then. This is a different generation. This is a social media generation. Some of the boys there on the streets, our reporter colleagues were speaking to, they said that they are here for a selfie with the bus, for a selfie with the cricketers. Back in 2007, I don't think that was a selfie generation. We were more autograph generation. This is the picture, Vasudha, that I was talking about. about Rohit Sharma and Rahul Dravid in warm embrace, the two people who really ran that engine room in Indian cricket for some time now and helped India cross the finish line
and because some of the champions are also clicking their own pictures, like you pointed out, they're clicking selfies. So clearly this is also something that means a lot to them, isn't it?
Yes, that means a lot to them. It means a lot to all of them who are there on the bus, because as we are discussing, it's a generational thing. It took India 13 long years. Remember, 2011 was the last time they won a World Cup, and then 13 years later they have won this World Cup. These scenes, even then these scenes didn't happen because Mr. Srinivasan, who was the president of BCCI back then, had sent the boys back to their, off to their, in fact, IPL teams, to IPL camps. So there was no street celebration as such. The boys celebrated. I was there at the discotheque in Taj Hotel where we did all the interviews that night. That was the only celebration for the Indian cricket team. And then they were sent off to the respective IPL teams. But this sort of a street party happened in 2007 and is happening now. However, this is much bigger than what had happened before.
Absolutely. And also, Rakesh Rao is still with us. Mr. Rao, tell us what is the role of BCCI in this? You know, how do you see the role sort of evolving differently when it comes to victories and matches like this? This is a sport that has evolved over the years. How do you see the role of this body also sort of evolving in the next few years?
You know, I'm so glad you asked this because most of the time BCCI is ridiculed for so many things. This is the time to actually take a hard look at what they've been doing. They've been doing a lot of good work. I mean, we know that the way they encourage every affiliate to have their own stadium, they gave a first installment of something like 30 crore to start. That means you just acquire land, you do the thing. From that point onwards, they ensure that the facilities are in place and the spectator interest is kept right up there. That means the paying spectator should come and get the maximum out of the kind of amount that he pays. So that is one thought. And now you come to the other side of it, how they run the game. The most structured cricket in the world, and also the number of matches that you see, all these numbers are available. But I think what is most significant is the way they look after the players when they get injured. This injury management stuff is not there in most of the countries the way we do it. You know, we have a very specialized team at the NCA where we not only work on the rehab side of it, and we do a pretty good job. And also, they have tie-ups with some of the leading hospitals.
Mr. Rao, we'll just come back to you. Actor Angad Bedi is joining us to talk about what's happening in Mumbai today. Today, Mumbai reflects what the nation is thinking and, of course, all the celebration. Thank you, Angad, for joining us on NDTV. Tell us, are you in Mumbai? And tell us, how is the city responding to this? This is clearly a reflection of what the nation wants right now. Clearly a celebration of joy.
Yes, it's a repeat of 2011. Marine Drive is exactly the same the way it was in 2011. The only difference is that time it was done for Master Blaster, the great Sachin Tendulkar, and this time it's been done for the wonderful legends in Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. And there's some wonderful visuals that I saw of both lifting the cup on Marine Drive, and the fans are going into a tizzy. And I just feel that, yes, I was driving. I was in Bandra, and the roads in Bandra are completely empty because everybody is on Marine Drive. So, I think the traffic police has a big job on their hands, but they're doing a wonderful job. I remember I was part of, I went to see the semi-final and final of 2011, where Yuvraj Singh played those wonderful knocks, and so did Gautam Gambhir. And MS Dhoni hit that wonderful six to lift that trophy. Now, that side and that memory has always and will be etched in my mind. But these visuals take me back to 2011. And I'm so happy. And I feel just not me as a fan and as a follower of cricket, but the millions and billions of fans. Because cricket is religion in our country, and every Indian eats, breathes and sleeps cricket, is extremely happy that the cup has come back after 13 years.
Angad, this is Rika Roy from NDTV Studios. I really have to ask you about, what does it really mean to this generation of cricket fans? Because these victories are generational. We saw Kapil Dev lift the cup, we saw MS Dhoni lift the cup, and now 13 years later, another Cricket World Cup being lifted by Rohit Sharma, 3 different generations. What does it really mean to this generation of cricket fans, this World Cup coming to India?
See, what it really means is you have to understand one thing is that Test cricket used to be the ultimate, test of skill. It still is. But then obviously we have changed and evolved, and 50 overs took over. One day cricket happened. In 1983, we won the World Cup for the first time, despite, doing well in 75 and 79 also. But West Indies was a team to beat after, being the biggest powerhouse in world cricket. But cricket evolved. From 50, it went on to T20, and also the current generation, the Gen Z audience, is a big follower of T20 cricket. It's only evolved for the better. The running between the wickets has gotten faster. The fielding has become better. To think quickly, on their toes, the players are doing a wonderful job. There have been players like Mr. 360, A.B. de Villiers holds that title. But then we also have a Surya Kumar, and then we also have a Jasprit Bumrah, and we also have an Arshdeep Singh. And we also have people like Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, Rishabh Pant, and the unsung hero Hardik Pandya.
Angad, I'll ask you an unusual question. Your father has been a great servant of Indian cricket, one of the legendary cricketers, superstars of his generation. If you were to look at this team today, can you pick out one cricketer who has his temperament?
He had spent good time with my father. I remember there were times because I've represented Delhi in under 16, under 19 myself, and there used to be times when he was in under 14, I think that time, yes. And he spent a lot of time with my father, and I remember most of the professional athletes, cricketers that time used to run away from him. Reason being because he used to spend and he used to really emphasize on the fact that how important fitness is, and they thought that that time he was too hard and he was too harsh on the players. But then again, I just think that today they're following the same temperament and the same template that he had set. And Virat Kohli is the biggest brand ambassador as far as fitness is concerned, because since he has been playing and we have seen the transformation of his physique ourselves, from being the Chiku to being the legendary man for Virat Kohli, and how important fitness is and always will be to him. If you see, there have been some really good interviews of his that I have followed on social media where he has spoken about the importance of being physically fit. It's about the importance of running between the wickets to go and minimize the time in the distance between the yards as far as the ball and the fielder is concerned. So I just feel, yes, well,
Angad,
that
I'll have to ask you
by
one last question. How would the great Bishan Bedi have reacted to these pictures of India winning the World Cup today?
Well, he would have just said to the entire team that, well done, keep your head between your shoulders and be, keep your head down and keep marching forward. This is behind y'all, and now you've got to set higher goals and bigger standards for yourself, because he would have said that the sky is the limit because there's such wonderful talent there representing our country. So, yeah, he would have said, well done, son.
Perhaps that's what all the great cricketers of previous generation would say, and that's perhaps what Rahul Dravid is also telling the boys. Thank you very much, Angad, for joining us on the broadcast at this hour. With that, we'll take a quick break on the show. We're on the other side. Stay tuned.
चलें जी, वीडियो खत्म हो गई भाई साहब। बहुत लंबा चौड़ा रोड शो था भाई साहब ये तो, और जिस तरह आवाम का भाई जोश दिख रहा था, मजा ही आ गया भाई।
इतनी लंबी ये वीडियो हमने देखी है, ये तो मुझे इसका मतलब है कि सवाई से
इससे पहले तारक भाई एक वीडियो देखी, उसके अंदर वो सुबह का टाइम था जब आवाम का समंदर और साथ में समंदर दोनों भाई साहब
जब वो आ रहे थे,
और रात हो चुकी है, अभी तक लोगों का भाई साहब जोश चल रहा भाई साहब कम नहीं।
मैं तो कह रहा हूँ कि वो जो गाड़ी की स्पीड होती है ना किलोमीटर, ये तो नेगेटिव में चल रही होगी क्योंकि भाई रश इतना है। वो एक गाड़ी आज करके वो चला रहा, ड्राइवर का जिगरा बहुत बड़ा है,
ऐसी वो चला
इतने रश में गाड़ी चला रहा है भाई।
वैसे अंदर एसी लगा हो ना मेरे भाई, दरवाजे बांधे एसी लगा, वो भी सुकून से आस्ते आगे पुलिस वाली जाग रही है ना गाड़ी, उसके पीछे पीछे जा रहे हैं।
कहता कहता तेल बचाने के लिए गाड़ी बंद करते हैं, आवाम का बोले पीछे थोड़ा थोड़ा सब
वो भी हो सकता है, इतनी आवाम में धक्का नहीं
वाली
लगा
बात
सकते।
कर दी ना भाई साहब, गरीबों वाली करके दी।
फिर उन्होंने कहना है कि
अब
अपने
यहाँ
बात
पे देखो
है।
तेल बचा रहा है,
उधर
तो
उनको
वो चैंपियन है भाई साहब, उनके ऊपर तो तेल और निछावर करने को फिर रहे हैं।
जाते
ये बात है कि इतने रश में भी वो इनका साथ दे रहे हैं, इतनी गर्मी में भी।
गर्मी उनको लग ही नहीं रही आज तो भाई,
ऐसे लगे।
उन्होंने क्या तेल बचा रहा है, उन्होंने वो चार्टर जेट जो है वो भेज दिया उधर स्पेशल लेने के लिए।
मौसम तेल बचा रहा है,
मौसम तेल बचा रहा है।
मैं
वो
तो कहता
बस
भाई जिस तरह वो रॉकी फिल्म के अंदर नहीं, वो बिजली चली जाती है, वो हेलीकॉप्टर मंगवा लेता है।
हाँ हाँ
वैसे
KGF
चाहिए था
KGF
के अंदर।
हाँ, ऊपर से हेलीकॉप्टर जो है वो हवा दे रहा था पब्लिक को।
हाँ।
ये मौसम का वैसे पहली दफा आइडिया था।
हेलीकॉप्टर मंगवा भी सकते हैं, तो त्यारा भी हो सकते हैं।
चाहिए था कि भाई साहब एक दो हेलीकॉप्टर होते हैं जो ऊपर से हवा देते रहते हैं
आवाम को खास करके,
क्योंकि भाई एक तो
असल में
सावन
लोगों
का
का
महीना
रश
आ रहा है
होता है।
और उमस जो है वो बहुत
बारिशों की वजह से भी
मौसम
ज्यादा
सेम रहता है।
बारिशों की वजह से तारक भाई ज्यादा जो है ना गर्मी होती है।
ये भी है, और जितनी ज्यादा पब्लिक है भाई साहब, साफ जरा के गर्मी और ज्यादा बढ़ी हुई है।
पब्लिक तो एक दूसरे के ऊपर चढ़े हुए हैं भाई, धक्का मुक्की हो रही है, हर किसी की ख्वाहिश है कि मैं अपने आइडिया को करीब से जाकर देखूंगा, उसकी तस्वीर
ऐसे ही।
और भाई साहब जो स्टाइल है ना भाई साहब, ऊपर विराट कोहली का ट्रॉफी तो सारे टीम के खिलाड़ियों ने पकड़ी है, और जिस जोश से ट्रॉफी भाई उठाई है ना दूसरे विराट कोहली।
असल में ये देखा नहीं है, रोहित शर्मा ने कभी वो कोच के साथ जिस तरह वो
राउंडर के साथ, कभी कोहली के साथ, कभी शर्मा सूर्य कुमार के साथ,
ज्यादा जोश जो मैंने देखा ना ट्रक के ऊपर, बस के ऊपर भाई जो है ना रोहित शर्मा
भाई वो कैप्टन भी है और T20 छोड़ भी दी है,
ये भी
और
है।
ये आखिरी लम्हे हैं उसके T20 में।
अच्छा तारक भाई, मेरी एक और ख्वाहिश भी है, इंडिया के अंदर सिंगर भी है, लिखने वाले भी हैं, सॉन्ग वगैरह। इस तरह वेस्ट इंडीज वालों ने वो गाना किया था ना आपने, चैंपियन,
ब्रावो ने लिखा था, गाया भी।
उस तरह भाई साहब एक दो भाई इस तरह के 2-3 गाने लिख रहे हैं, और भाई साहब सिंगर उसको गा दें।
ये
और
मौसम
इंडिया के
की
जितने हो चुके हैं मशहूर जो है
उनके नाम याद
उनके नाम
ये फिल्मों वाले गाने उठा लेते
भाई, ये मौसम की बात आपने सुनी है। अगर कोई सिंगर भाई सुन रहे हैं या हमारा मैसेज पहुंचे या कोई पहुंचा दे, तो मौसम भाई की बात पे तवज्जो जरूर किया जाए, और गाना बनता भी है।
और ये जो टीम इंडिया जीती है इसका
हाँ।
चैंपियन का एक गाना बनता है।
जितनी खुशी आपको मिली है ना इन खिलाड़ियों की वजह से, आपका गाना बनता भी और चलेगा भी।
रोहित शर्मा और विराट कोहली पर, बल्कि सूर्या कुमार यादव के लिए तो बड़ा गाना करना चाहिए।
सारे मिलकर
जो कैच पकड़ा है मैच को,
असल में
पास
पूरी
ही
इंडिया
तो है।
चैंपियन है।
अच्छा भाई, अब
11 खिलाड़ी पूरी 140 करोड़ आवाम को भाई साहब चैंपियन।
आप दिल थोड़ा ना करो, मैंने बोल दिया 2-4 दिन बाद गाना आ
गाने
जाएगा आपकी
भाई साहब
फरमाइश
होने चाहिए।
आ जाए। सोनू निगम भी उनकी आवाज में शायद आ जाए।
सभी गाने।
चले जी ठीक है भाई, बहुत अच्छा लगा देख के, और भाई पब्लिक का जोश दिख रहा है, और आई विश के भाई हमारी भी टीम इसी तरह अच्छा जो है, क्योंकि जो चैंपियन ट्रॉफी पाकिस्तान में हो रही है वो जीते, और हम तो भाई साहब इधर से ही उनका स्वागत कर लेंगे, कहीं से लेना नहीं जाएगा। ऐसा
वो तो बात की बात है,
ऐसा ना हो कि भाई हम उसको जिस तरह इंडिया टीम जो है वो ये उनको पब्लिक रिसीव करने के लिए ना लाखों की तादाद में गई है, और कहीं पाकिस्तान से निकालने के लिए टीम पाकिस्तान को कई लोग जो है लाखों की तादाद में घर पे
ये इस बार हारने के बावजूद, वनडे का वर्ल्ड कप 23 में हारने के बावजूद भी मैंने तुझे कहा था जीतो या हारो, अवाम कहते हम आपके साथ हैं, ठीक है, ये कभी भी ऐसा नहीं करेंगे। हाँ, अगर इंडियन ये मैच आती हार, तो फिर मैं तुझे बताता कि अवाम किसको कहते हैं बदला लेना।
यार फिर भी स्वागत करेंगे।
स्वागत
इंडिया के अंदर वर्ल्ड कप जो
भाई
है
ना
हारे
ना कर
हार चीज गेम का हिस्सा है यकूब भाई।
भाई ना
पूरी
दे
हार
अवाम इस बात को तुझे मैं बताता जो मैं
वर्ल्ड कप वो उसके अंदर क्या
मैं बात नहीं करना चाहता था, ये मौका मुझे मजबूर कर रहा है। विराट कोहली की कैप्टनी में मैच हारे थे उस वक्त, विराट कोहली की फैमिली के लिए पहुंच गई थी अवाम। आपको पता ही नहीं भाई अवाम कहाँ पहुंच जाती है,
तो बड़े दूर ही पहुंच जाता है कोई
नहीं पहुंचना पड़ता फिर इस बंदे को।
हमारे लोग गाली नहीं निकालते।
मैं कहता हूँ हमारी अवाम और इनकी अवाम एक जैसी है,
एक मिनट बात,
एक जैसी है।
पब्लिक है 140 करोड़ जनता है, कुछ अच्छे हैं कुछ बुरे हैं,
तो मैं भी तो
जो
वही
गंदी
कह
नेचर
रहा
वाले हैं वो गंदा बोलते हैं।
तो मैं सभी को तो नहीं बोल रहा, मैं कह रहा हूँ बंदे बहुत ज्यादा हद भी
और
पार
भाई
कर
कई
जाते
होते हैं जो चुतिया होते हैं जो आगे निकल जाते हैं, हद पार कर
अब
जाते हैं।
बाबर आजम के ऊपर देख लगता है कि अल्लाह जबान
हाँ।
बोल रही है, हालांकि पाकिस्तान में इनके अलावा कोई खेल ही नहीं सकता। अगर वो खिलाड़ी नहीं तो मुझे टीम के बाहर निकाल के दिखा दे बाबर को, तू भी कहता है वो खिलाड़ी नहीं, उसके अलावा मुझे टीम खिला के दिखा
बैठ
दे।
जाए तू तो जैसे सब बोल रहा है जैसे कि दुनिया में एक बाबर ही बाबर है और तो कोई
मैं
बाबर
अपनी
नहीं।
टीम की बात कर रहा हूँ, दुनिया की नहीं कर रहा, सिर्फ पाकिस्तानी टीम में अगर
अच्छा
कोई
जब
है
पहले
तो
बाबर
एक ही
नहीं था तो गेम नहीं होती थी।
है। उससे पहले इससे बड़े नाम
बाबर ने आके क्या कौन सा वर्ल्ड कप जीत
उससे पहले बड़े बड़े नाम वो गुजरे हैं, इमरान खान, सईद अनवर जैसे, इंतजाम जैसे नाम मौजूद हैं।
सईद अनवर के
अहमद सुहेल जैसे
आधा भी नहीं है बाबर आजम तेरा।
लेकिन जिस आज वो चल रहा है जितना मुकाम उसको भी मिला हुआ क्रिकेट में, ये नहीं भी, मैं तुझे कितनी बार बता चुका हूँ 32 साल हो गए हैं, ना न्यूजीलैंड जीती, ना साउथ अफ्रीका जीती, ना बांग्लादेश जीता, वो भी तो टीमें खेल रही, उनमें बड़े बड़े नाम हो गुजरे, हाशिम आमला डिविलियर जैसे हो गए हैं, बड़े बड़े न्यूजीलैंड के हो गुजरे हैं, वेस्ट इंडीज सबसे कम क्रीम टीम जिनको समझा जाता है वो 4 वर्ल्ड कप जीत चुकी है मामा।
लेकिन जीतता वही है वो जो ज्यादा
मेहनत करता है भाई।
मेहनत का ढाल बैठता
और भाई इंडिया ने इस दफा अच्छा खेला है और भाई वो कहते हैं ना जो हिस्ट्री बनाई है ना वो इंडिया ने बनाई है, कोई आज तक ऐसा मेहनत नहीं देखा।
ये बात तो
कोई
सही
भाई
है।
जो लगातार जीता हो,
नहीं
एक मैच भी नहीं टूर्नामेंट में हारे, पिछला भी जीत जाना था बस वो हो गया थोड़ा सा।
नहीं थोड़ा सा नहीं, वो जो हार है वो हारी हो जाती, बस उनमें
बाकी
अच्छा
भाई
खेल
इंडिया में हर तरह के लोग हैं जो इतना ज्यादा प्यार देते हैं तो इतनी ज्यादा नफरत भी करने वाले लोग होते हैं।
दोनों तरफ के हैं।
तो ठीक है भाई, जो साफ रहा कि भाई सबसे ज्यादा खर्चा आज देखा जाए तो दुनिया में टीम इंडिया पे होता है, तो क्या वो लोग जो है वो नहीं चाहेंगे कि भाई सब जो हमारा खर्चा इतना करोड़ों रुपए तनख्वाह लेते हैं तो वो क्या वो पूछेंगे नहीं भाई साहब हम अपने पेट काट के देते हैं तो आप हमारे लिए क्या कर रहे हो?
दुनिया में मेरे ख्याल के मुताबिक मैं अपना अंदाजा बता रहा हूँ, सबसे ज्यादा अगर टीम के खिलाड़ियों को पैसा मिलता है वो इंडियन को नहीं।
ऐसा ही है। चले जी ठीक है भाई, और भाई बहुत मजा आया भाई साहब रोड शो देख के, और इंडिया के जो खिलाड़ी थे उन्होंने भी जो इंजॉय किया और पब्लिक तो भाई साहब भंगड़े डाल रही थी। तो ठीक है भाई, अपनी राय जरूर बताइएगा कमेंट सेक्शन में, मिलते रहिए वीडियो के साथ, तब तक के लिए इजाजत दें।
अल्लाह हाफिज़।